Carol, we got your comment right before going live. I had to post it here. Y'all are pettier than we are.
Lord have mercy. Mm-mm.
Becca's under the weather, so it's just me and Johnny tonight. Oh my God. Worst experience at a theater he ever had.
I could believe it too. I really could.
Yeah, a very red district in Texas just elected a Democrat. Like whooped ass.
I saw that.
People are over it. Okay. Well,
I certainly am.
Sacred Sounds of Coffee had to cancel it this morning. Jen Lynn had a little catastrophe yesterday, had a little pipe burst. I've got too much information to tell them what was happening, Johnny. So, the weather warmed up to about 25 yesterday. So, that's heat wave for us. We've been minus 15. So when the weather warms up, that's when the pipes, like expand and they burst. And in my downstairs bathroom, the wall, the back one wall that the toilet is on, behind it is the stairwell down into the cellar. And for those that don't know, my house was built in 1862. It's very old, thick walls and everything. But the kitchen was added on later, and the bathrooms were added on later. This house would have had outhouses in the old days. Every time I dig around in the yard, like trying to plant flowers, I hit the foundations to outbuildings. So everything was added on later, the bathrooms and stuff, when they put the plumbing in. So I was sitting on the toilet, and all of a sudden just heard crash and torrential waterfall behind me through the wall. And I'm like, ah! And got up, opened the door, and it literally like a waterfall coming down. I'm like, okay, I got to run through the waterfall on these little narrow stairs, and nothing's to code. These little narrow stairs, and watch your head that you don't hit it as you go into the cellar and cut the water off. So I go down there and I get the water cut off, and the waterfall, slowed down and stopped. But I got drenched. I mean, it was such heavy water coming down. My head was drenched. My sweatshirt I had on was drenched. Like, looked like I had put myself in the washing machine. It was awful. Called the plumbing company that I use that also work on my furnace and stuff when I need them and clean my furnace. And they got out here in 20 minutes. They were able to put shutoff valves. It was a pipe to my upstairs bathroom that burst. And they put on shutoff valves to the upstairs bathroom so that they could turn the water back on for me downstairs. So I have a toilet. I have my downstairs, I have a clawfoot tub with a handheld shower in the downstairs, and I have my kitchen sink and everything. So I have water on the main floor. They're going to have to come back out later, and fix the plumbing issue on the second floor. But it was quite amazing. And all the water, like no water came into the house, like through the kitchen ceiling or anything. The bathroom's kind of partially over the kitchen and over the stairwell. All the water went down into the cellar, which is concrete floor and stacked stone foundation and has drain holes in it. So no water damage there other than the ceiling fell in over the stairwell. But I'm lucky, but I'm not lucky.
Lucky but annoyed. It's like
yesterday alone was like $1,500. And I don't even have the estimate yet on what it's going to cost to redo the pipe that burst. So it was crazy because I was supposed to have a client like in 30 minutes. I called her and I said, I'm drenching wet. I'm literally drenching wet. I had a pipe burst and I had to run through the water, and I am just like a drowned rat. So she was kind enough to let me move her appointment. Y'all
it
so
rains.
nice. When we have little emergencies, you're so nice.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, my plumber was even commenting 1862, Lincoln was president, which is what another reason that Carol comment was quite funny.
Oh Lord. Well, it's gonna look up from here.
Yeah. Cats
At
are
least you
okay.
have the shut-off valves now, so you won't have this sort of situation repeat. At least not exactly the
Yeah.
same. So.
It's really cool how he did it because he did a shut-off valve and a drain valve. So next year, when it goes minus 15, I can shut the water off to the upstairs bathroom, open the drain valve, let whatever water is residual waters in the pipes, let it drain out, and just leave it off until it warms up, and I won't have to deal with pipes freezing ever again on the second floor.
Mm-hmm.
So that was cool. And the first floor, the pipes, my basement, it tends to stay 60 to 65 degrees year round in the summer. Like it's a very consistent temperature. So the first floor, I never really have to worry. Thank you, Patty. Yeah, it is. Thank you so much. Every drop in the bucket helps. Um, literally drop in the bucket. It's like, tried to figure out, should I put a bucket under there, but it stopped dripping once I got the water shut off. So I was like, yeah, the water is already in the cellar. I'm just not going to worry about it and let it dry up on its own.
How cold is it there right now?
We got up to about 25 again today. So last night it dropped down to like 3 degrees again, or close to 0. Tonight it's only dropping down to like 15 or something like that. It's not going to be as cold. And
That's
we got to
still
warm up.
freezing.
Yeah. I mean,
Good.
that's like heat wave to me. Like I can go outside with a lightweight jacket on when it's 25. Minus 15, you're putting everything around you can.
Yeah, you don't go outside dead. That she just want to die. Mm-mm.
Well,
Up north, problems of the northerns. Mm-mm.
it's crazy because I was like, oh my God, if I have no water, which is where I was, I'll have no toilet. I would have had to gone to a friend's house to stay while they fix this, and could leave the cats here, but I'd have to come over and feed them and stuff. And I have power, but I sit, like, even when I'm doing personal drinkings, I'm drinking fluids all the time, tea and stuff, and gotta have a toilet.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I remember them days. It doesn't get that cold here. Where right now, I mean, I was freezing yesterday, but today I think it's like 50. It rained all day today.
Thank you, Courtney. Yes, all donations will be going to the plumbing issue. I haven't even had time to call my insurance company to, because I don't have an estimate what the total cost is going to be yet or anything, but we'll see. I can't even remember what my deductible is. I signed the forms back in 2016 when I bought the house, and I'm like, I don't even remember how much my deductible is. But at least I got running water and a toilet. I'm thrilled.
And you didn't lose power.
I didn't lose power.
You would have definitely had to leave then if you lost power.
Yeah. Beth Cat, who usually is in the chat, has been out of power for a week down in Tennessee. She lives down the street from just a few miles from my sister. My sister's power came back up today.
That's
and I heard it got down to like 19 in Florida. I was reading for people in Florida last week, and they were like, we're getting snow and cold. I was like, wow.
Yeah, it snowed in South Florida, something like that. Somewhere where it very, 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 very rarely snows.
Near Lori, wasn't it?
I forget where.
But that's crazy. Like it was colder when I was, my first appointment I had on Saturday before the pipe burst was in Florida, and it was colder in Florida than it was here. I was like, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm. I was thinking, I was like, just imagine if the earth moved just an inch or two in the wrong direction, we would be too hot and too cold because it's already too hot and too cold on earth. We'd definitely be too hot and too cold then. Below 21 below is not survivable.
Think
It's
you'd
just
be interested.
unnecessary. Lord.
I'm in Illinois, Carol. I'm about an hour and a half outside of Chicago. That's why we go sub-zero like every winter. Usually not till January. We were going sub-zero in November and didn't have a problem with the pipe then. And then we went sub-zero in December for a few days. But usually we don't have that. Like we'll go minus 15, minus 20, and the wind chill factor will be minus 40. So a lot like what Minnesota's been experiencing. It's colder in Minnesota than here. But yeah, it's frigid. Like my car, I would, every day that it was sub-zero, I'd go out there and crank it. And it was like, I was like, just start. Let me run it for a while. Wow. So what's going on with you, Johnny? You got any announcements?
Chaos, but it'll be fine. Anything I was doing in February has been canceled. Just FYI for those who had signed up for any classes or anything. I got one more week on the beginner's class, and that's here in February. Everything else, though, is not going forward. March 1st is the beginner's class. If you want to reserve a spot for that beginner's class, then send me an email, tarotapprentice@gmail.com. Thank you, Barbara Jean, for the tarot deck. Thank you very much as well. That's it.
Thank you, Maren.
But chaos in a good way. Not, I don't have a horrible life, so.
If you listen to the astrologers, and I have a client / friend that texts me every now and then about astrology. You know her too, Johnny. And she said, January was the prequel for February. February is going to be crazy. And we also have that, eclipse. So get ready, guys. Like more is going to come to light. It's all going to come out.
It is here. It's crazy for me. That's for sure.
But if anyone would like to schedule a reading with Jen Tarot, you might hear some plumbers in the background, but no, hopefully I have openings in March. There might be an opening or two in February, but I think most of the openings are in March. So JenLynTarot.com to schedule a reading with me. That's in the description box under the video too, if you want to click on the link there. That also will be supporting plumbing as well as the mortgage, right? Oh my. Johnny, let's start personal. Is Jen pipes going to be an easy fix, or is it going to be a drawn out mess because of how thick the walls are? Thank you, Mara. I can't read for myself, guys. I can't stay neutral enough to read for myself. This is what Johnny does in the after show for me. And that right now, like there's no rush now because he's got the water cut off to upstairs, so I don't feel like I got to rush and do it.
King of water. Maybe that's a good sign.
That'd be the plumber.
Investigative work here first.
Mm-hmm.
There is one thing that will come up there that they'll have to figure out. This is something where they'll have to leave and come back.
Yeah.
So it'll be slightly more complicated, but they have what they need to get it done. That's your last card. It's just one thing, like one thing specific. And it could be the way the pipe is shaped or something of that nature. Something is just a little more intricate than they had anticipated for, but it'll be fine in the end. Whatever it is that they say, they're going to say, but it's not going to be a disaster. I don't get no towers or nothing like that. So no
Thank you,
disaster.
Anna. And you're spot on with they're going to call me tomorrow to set up an appointment to come back out because they're looking at 3 different places where they might be able to get into the pipes. So they have to get in, and the guy that was here Saturday said it may take a couple hours to figure out how they're going to get in there to fix it. And see what exactly needs fixing. So that will take a couple hours, and then they'll come back out and do the work. So you're spot on with that, like leave and return, like come investigate, leave and return.
Mm-hmm. They're just get a surprise. Something is complicated. Something is more complicated than it should be. It changes the way they have to do things with the work there, but they do have a solution. So they're not going to leave you high and dry or anything like that, and they'll do the job to your satisfaction there too. Now, do you want to repair the seatland part?
Over the stairwell, it's not that important to me because it's just, thank you, Torp. It's just the stairs to the cellar. Like the door's always closed. It's nobody looks up when you go in there anyway. But it's narrow little stairs, so
you could get some money for that, but that would cause more disruptions to your household. So bear that in mind too. Insurance. You may have to go back and forth with them a couple times too, because you know how they do.
Yeah. Thank you, Kay.
But it'll be fine.
So see, guys, this is why you need a reading with Johnny.
But your biggest problem is going to be insurance, not your contract. So
yeah. Thank you, Cindy.
Yeah.
22 in Central Florida. Central Florida. Come on. Like, I know it occasionally gets colder up in the Panhandle area in northern Florida, occasionally, but
I mean, I lived in the Panhandle. It got cold, but it was cold because it was winter. But it didn't snow. It didn't, it didn't go below 0. I think 30 is like the lowest it went. Because mind you, where I lived, the beach was right there, but
it rarely went below freezing, That's cold. Well, let's start here. Thank you, Gigi. We've had all these musicians putting out songs and everything, protest songs, and standing with Minnesota, Minneapolis in particular. I want to know at the Super Bowl, because thank you, Cold Toes. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think Green Day is opening for Bad Bunny.
That's
and Green Day has always done protest songs about Trump and F.U. Trump in their concerts and stuff. Like, they can't stand the man. So I want to know, are we going to see some protest songs in the Super Bowl halftime show? Start with something a little lighter.
So one thing too to mention about Bad Bunny is apparently he does a lot of his songs in Spanish, Espanol, and some of them are protest related to where he speaks about the issues facing Puerto Rican people. And so there may be a little, disobedience within there. Let's see.
Thank you, Idaho. Yeah, I think Green Day's opening for Bad Bunny. I'm pretty sure it's them. Thank you, Jen.
Yeah, they were mentioned.
Which may be why Trump doesn't want to go to the Super Bowl now, right?
Yeah, I got 2 cards of protest. So I think so. There's some veiled messaging there too. So
I'm getting that some veiled.
I wonder if they may have a little Epstein song or something they might want to do.
Yeah, our president's a pedophile. Come on. Allegedly, for entertainment purposes only. YouTube, gotta watch it. All these social media platforms have been shadow banning a lot of people. Oh yeah, for the healing for the anxious. They're working out the details now. It's like this corruption has gone on too long. There will be messaging. There will be, and they're going to bully Trump back. They're going to in celebration, but there will be some hidden meanings also. There'll be some blatant things, but there'll be some hidden things.
Good for them.
I'll have to hit replay on those and see if I can catch all the windows.
I don't ever watch the Super Bowl. I might watch it then. At least the halftime show.
While we're talking sports, Trump is sending ICE. What is it, Johnny?
Immigration Customs Enforcement.
Right. To Italy for the Winter Olympics. For security reasons.
Yeah.
Now, if that doesn't scare everybody from coming here for the Summer Olympics, I don't know what will. He wasn't even asked to send them over. They have nothing to do with security of athletes and things like that. So they've been told that they're not wanted in Italy. Will I still go? Because Trump, he's going to do what he's going to do.
Are they there now?
I don't think they're there yet. I think they're going over with the athletes. Basically, it's free vacation for them to attend the Olympics. Yeah, they're saying it's because Vance and Rubio are going over. It's
then you send Secret Service. You don't need to send ICE. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. They have Secret Service. You got Homeland Security. You got soldiers you could have sent. You don't need to send ICE.
Italy will provide security for the event areas. You send Secret Service for the couch fucker.
Mm-hmm.
Which, yes, glad y'all liked the thumbnail tonight. Thank you, Azalea. And pardon me if I missed some super chats.
I get put out. There's your soldiers or thuggish people, and I get put out here. They may go first and then get put out second. But I do get, because you have to be somewhere in order to be thrown out with the Five of Pentacles. But they cause worry, they cause stress. This is in the warning. The Temperance is supposed to be the calm, and this is the opposite. But they cause stress, they cause worry, that type of thing. So I think wherever they go, they get put out.
I agree. I think because the Olympics, stands for hope and strength, of the athletes and everything they stand for. This is wonky to that. Thank you, SW, and thank you, Rose. I get they have to change because they get blocked. It's like, no, constricted, not allowed here. Too much judgment on them. Thank you, Roberta. My pipe repair fun. Go fund me. Thank you all so much for the super chat. Wow. So little Marco Rubio had a little Senate hearing the other day, which is hysterical to watch because he's like talking in circles and everything, trying to, he was on this committee before. He knows the stuff that Trump is doing is not right, like taking the Venezuelan money and putting it in a bank in Qatar. It's like, no, that's not how things are done. And even the Republicans were giving him a hard time. But the whole time he's sitting there, he's like putting pills in his mouth and taking a swig of his water and popping pills through the whole thing. It's like, I'm like, dude, do you have a health issue? Like, what the hell? So what's going on with Rubio's pill popping?
Mm. Wow. Rubio.
Thank you, Yahara.
I mean, he's given Don Jr. vibes to where he feels like he's coming apart at the seams.
Thank you, Fran.
Let's see what's wrong with Ruby.
Little Rubio pill popping. It's like, okay.
Were they Skittles and they were emotional support pills?
Emotional support Skittles.
Taste the rainbow.
Is he getting it?
What's going on?
And I tell you, there have been a few meetings that I've seen him in where he does look high on something. His eyes don't look right.
Probably doesn't sleep either.
I looked at the bottom and I heard heart palpitations. Like he's having heart palpitations sitting there.
Mm. Well, let me look this way.
He's lying under oath too.
He's going to have a stomach issue, like ulcer or acid reflux or something. It's self-inflicted. Something he's doing is doing that to him.
Maybe all your crap you're doing for Trump. Thank you.
It ain't good either. He's addicted to something, and it ain't love. So it's all this shenanigan you're doing with the Republicans and the stealing this and corrupting that and all this kind of jazz. I mean,
he has an addiction. He definitely has an addiction, maybe drinking too much too. Yeah, he was a party boy before he got married. He was seen at a lot of the gay pool parties in Miami area back in his early days. There's pictures all over the internet of him.
So he was tasting the rainbow, like I say.
Yeah. I'm sure he's been on Grindr a few times. He knows the world is watching and assessing everything that's going on here, with this regime, and he just looks stupid for working for them. I get there's going to be whistleblowers on something that he said that he trapped himself in a perjury trap, perjury trap. Everything he says is coming from, what the billionaires want and stuff. He's very emotional, anxious. He's not sleeping. He's got addiction to alcohol and drugs is what I'm getting. And the truth is going to come out, and it's going to conflict with everything he's putting out there with all the work that he's doing. So he's going to... I want to ask a question. This money that he put in the Qatar bank, which we had no business taking it and putting it, in Trump's name, it's not in the U.S. government's name. Is Trump using that money to build his Gaza Strip? Is this why he took it and put it over there? MAGA, make another Grindr account.
Mercy. Is he using that money?
Is he using it for personal gain like everything else? I mean, we got so much money missing that I am sure he's using for his own crap.
Foreign buildings. He's using a conflict to his benefit too. Well, that'd be Gaza. Or maybe not just that, but definitely that. There is something around building wealth. But this is... Did you hear about the Trump accounts too? With the banks saying they're going to... It's a thing where if your child is born between 2025 and whatever it was, the dates that they gave, that there's $1,000 that's put into an account for your child. that they can get when they're 18, and then you can put money into it. And then JP Morgan Chase and Bank of America said they're going to put money into it, and so forth and so forth. They're called Trump accounts, though. And this feels like it's not just from one place, it's from many places, because there's details to each one, and it's over and over and over. So they're repeating this thing over and over. It's not just in one place. But yes, foreign buildings, absolutely.
Giving a contract to Don Jr.'s business, and that all goes in. It's investments for him. It's certainly going into personal investments is what I get. And it's steady money all the time, put in overseas accounts. So he's moving money around with partners, and he's probably still getting money from like Putin and Russian oligarchs too. Sorry, I got a glare. I can't get the cards to show up. It's personal family investments. So all his little luxury things that he wants to do and everything, he's going to get caught in this though. So will we ever get that money back for Venezuela? Will we get any money back from Trump that he's taken? Because it's not just the Venezuelan money.
So I heard you'll get something from the Epstein thing. Some, not money, but you'll get some sort of satisfactory news from that. That was.
We're going there in a minute. Tell your guides, hang on.
It's like, if you're looking for money, but here's what you can get. There is looking for resource management and things like that, paper trails too. That could also be someone investigating such a thing, but I don't think so. There is defeat, and then there's the lots of money with the Nine of Pentacles. But if you're looking for information on the younger population that he interacted with, then I think you get something from it, but I don't get money.
I think our next AG is going to be a woman under a Democrat in the future that's going to hold these to account, because I'm getting, when Democrats are back in power, I'm getting no, because he's got partnerships that are, he's burdened, so they may confiscate some of his money. And he's going to be trapped in this, though. His tower moment is very, very close. This is all getting ready to crash around him. But I get women will be the ones that look for it. They'll find out the truth, but will the money come back? No, I think it's going to some other insiders, and it would be hard for them to get the money back through international banking or whatever. Okay. One thing that really jumped out at me in the Epstein files, and I haven't read all 3 million pages of it. I've just been seeing some highlights that people are posting and stuff.
You had a ceiling debacle to deal with, so
Yeah. So one of the things that was alleged in the Epstein files is that little William Barr, remember our old AG under Trump the first time, whose dad was a pedophile that knew Epstein when he taught at the school back in the 70s and all that, and even wrote a book about aliens and sex trafficking and stuff. William Barr's dad was kinky. Well, apparently William Barr is too. He apparently witnessed a lot of the Epstein abuse. He apparently went to some of the parties. So, William Barr, you gonna face any consequences? You are mentioned several times.
One of the last people to ever see Epstein alive.
Well, that explains why he wanted to make sure he was silenced.
how the guards went to sleep like some cat burglar jumped into jail and put them to sleep with sleeping bombs and then turned the camera off at the right time. Okay, Catwoman, you go right ahead.
Like
William
Mission
Hart.
Impossible.
Mhm. You had a whole plan.
Barr, who always tried to act like such a good Catholic family man.
I mean, he acted like some of the other Catholics we know.
Thank you, MJB.
Um,
To the pipe fun or wine, whichever may help.
Sometimes you need something to help you cope. So.
That's right. Thank you very much. I'll let you know. Bill
Get you a
Barr.
good bottle of I'm sick of this shit and then go. I don't think so. I think something happens when he dies, like expose and documentaries and all these different types of things. He has a lot of protected status here for whatever reason. I don't know how connected he is with all the whole menagerie of people, but he still has a lot of success on his side when it comes to trying to skirt the issues and things. But something, when he's on his deathbed or when he's dead, then it all comes spilling out, which who needs it then?
Gonna be more whistleblowing on him though, because he's involved in a lot of shady stuff. He was an inside man to watch all this excess. He's very anxious about what the children are saying or what's talked about with the children, but there's an indecision to prosecute him for some reason. So I don't know what that is. He's drinking a lot. I think he's totally aware of the trafficking, but there's so much chaos going on. The only thing I get is celebrating when he dies. So will he be prosecuted? I don't think so. I just think people will be like, yay, another pedophile died, for entertainment purposes only. It's also mentioned in the pedophile files. It is pedophile files.
I mean,
It's so god awful, and I tell you, there were things that were in it that a lot of it kind of validated for me what Sasha Riley had said, the male that had come forward. Trump's golf course in I believe Southern California. Apparently they had some parties, and Robin Leach, the one of the entertainment gurus, that he's passed away now, he's already gone, but went to parties and a girl was strangled and unalived and buried on the golf course. So apparently Ivana is not the first person buried on a golf course, and there's allegedly other young people buried on the golf course. Are they ever going to do like what do they call that when they do the ground penetrating radar to figure out like where possible bodies are? Anybody going to investigate where bodies are on Trump properties? Because apparently it's not just Bedminster; it's all over the place. Anybody that can't handle the frank discussion, go watch something else tonight. It's quite frank. I think it's better to be informed of what's going on in order to put a stop to it, right? I don't like to bury my head, and a lot of it is hard to listen to, like the Sasha Riley tapes, but I like to be aware of what's going on. I don't, yeah, if you think about, like, if you were put on a jury, you would have to look at all the gross pictures and everything, right? I just think it's something we have to do to stop it.
I'm not getting a resounding yes, because it feels like they get to put up the smokescreen that these stories are too wild or something of that nature. But there is a lot of belief in this story, though, so it doesn't go away, though, either. The 10 of Wands, it's stuck. So this is something that is going to be there, but I don't see anything to where an investigation starts, or digging, or raids, because you need something for them to latch a case onto. And that's what they don't have just yet. Right now, you just got stories and accusations.
Well, and that's actually in the Epstein file. Like, it'll say what the report is, and then it'll tell you, like, if it's verified or not, or there's a lot of crap in there. Like, this witness is known for being a prostitute, or shoplifting, or however they can, like, put them down. There's a lot of garbage that I think has been put in the Epstein files. So you know, I do feel like there's a lot of celebrity parties and things, lot of big money where they got away with this on his personal home fronts, and so his golf courses, and even overseas places that I think they're going to have to revisit. And it could be like, if they do more things with get more up to date and validated things from the women, that are sharing the information. So it's not happening anytime soon, but a lot of these people are afraid they're going to be, taken out unalive. So it's hard to get to the truth of a lot of things, and it's hard to validate. But I get family businesses, this is like something done routinely. And there may be another whistleblower on it, but I'm not getting going and searching. So I think there was some truth to when Trump said he could shoot somebody in the middle of Fifth Avenue and nothing would happen, right? It's like he's been involved with Epstein since the 80s or 90s. It goes back much further, I think, than we realize. Is he such a narcissist that it doesn't even register what an awful person he is? And there were some parties that supposedly he also took Don Jr. and Eric to. So does he even realize how disgusting?
No, there's a court case years and years ago where a boy joyriding in his father's sports car or something crazy like that ran over a person and killed them. And the defense which he got off on was affluenza, where you live an affluent lifestyle and you don't have boundaries because your parents never said any. He is a person, you remember, grab him by the crotch type thing, because he got away with it for so long. So he was always the most important person in the room, in the rooms that he was in growing up. to where he doesn't have a boundary. He doesn't have a point of decency which he can say, okay, I won't cross that line. He doesn't have that. So I don't think he is aware how disgusting he is because he's been celebrated for far too long.
I don't think he is either aware that he's disgusting. He's like, happy, happy, joy, joy, and he thinks all this evidence, okay, it's done. That's it. Details are out. He also thinks because he's so wealthy that he can fight these young people. So, he's probably made a lot of out of court settlements and stuff. But I get this is his tower moment, crash and burn, and trapped in this. And justice court issues coming from the Epstein files. There's an abundance of information about his little, I'll call them parties, for lack of better. Y'all know what happened at these parties. He just thinks he can bully and get his way. He doesn't care. There's no empathy. There's no nothing.
Do you have an Elon question?
Yeah, his daughter just came out today and said, yes, everything about Elon was true. We were in St. Bart's at that time, blah, blah, blah. Like, she validated what's in the Epstein.
Because he reminds me, of that whole I don't have any boundaries things because I'm a trillionaire now.
Yeah, so, his oldest daughter that he has a beef with has been very vocal about it's true what's in the Epstein, and he said, oh, Epstein invited me, I never went, and there's all these emails where Elon's trying to hook up with the Epstein. Let's get together, let's have another party, let's have another good time. Is Elon going to face any consequences for his involvement with Epstein?
I heard morally, maybe not legally. Court of public opinion. I mean, people don't like you anyway. So,
yeah.
Doge, I think, was a bridge too far for some people. This is going to balloon, actually. And not that he cares, because again, trillionaire, but it's going to cost his investments a whole bunch of money. And I think one of the problems too is his AI is one of his investments, and AI is already on thin ice in that too, because I get the technology card and that investment, and there's some company behind me, the Grok. Remember, the Grok is the one that will let you take the clothes off of younger people.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not been fixed, apparently. So, and then there is the poverty, the loss there with the Five of Pentacles. But this feels more like a moral attack than it is a legal one, but it causes him a lot of problems, a lot of consternation, a lot of embarrassment in that, because this is not going to go away from him, apparently. So it's going to cause a lot of heartache and pain and regrets and all that kind of stuff, but I don't get any legal cards yet.
Yeah, I get it globally. It's going to affect his businesses. It's going to destroy some of his businesses, but it's not just here. It's overseas. It's everywhere because he's a global guy, and he's looked at as a thief and sneaky person who's out partying around, manipulating people. That's exposed. His connections with loser Trump are exposed. He's got massive addictions that everybody's looking at differently, and he's going to be isolated. There's more that's going to come out about the parties of these very wealthy people, and he's going to sit in the judgment on his company. judgment on his companies is the only way to punish him, so to speak. So he's going to be put in defense mode and taken down a notch, and probably will not stay the richest man in the world. I'll put it that way. I just had a fleeting question that ran through my head, and now I've lost it. Can't grab it. Y'all should have seen Johnny in the after show. He's trying to grab words and couldn't hang on to
that
them.
whole live stream last week. My brain was half mush, and it was mushing as we were going. It was like, oh my god, because I'd been reading all day, and then I'd been in class not all day, but I'd been in class, and then I've been reading all day, and by the time I got to the live stream, that's like that. I'm on E. We're running on fumes.
Tried to grasp thoughts and hang on to him, and he couldn't do it. And I was teasing. I was like, "Go, Johnny, go! Grab that thought."
I just couldn't get it. I don't even. We were talking about flooding. I said that's the only thing that I've never been in was whatever I just said. It's like I said the word 3 seconds ago, and I'm like, I don't know what the word was.
Whatever I said.
Flooding. Is that okay? Thank you. Flooding. That's what I meant to say. Again, I just couldn't get it.
It was just like energy overflow, too much coming in with everything that had been happening. Elaine, in her new filing, trying to get her case, discharged, said that there were 4 unindicted co-conspirators and 25 men who paid for settlements. 25 or 29 men that paid settlements out of court to victims with no indictments. Will any of these co-conspirators and other men, will anybody get indicted for their involvement in this ring? Anybody.
She must have some sort of assurance, or at least in her heart, that she can now start talking, because that's a very strong thing to say. Hey, there's people who are co-conspirators. I mean, we already know that, but
we know Trump has got to be one of them. I think she's using it as blackmail to get a pardon, because she hasn't got her pardon yet, and she wants out of that cushy jail. Princess,
she may find herself walking over the Rainbow Bridge instead of just walking out of jail.
Thank you, Corliss.
Heaven, for those who didn't get my metaphor.
Yeah. The Epstein Bridge.
Mm-hmm.
Bill Barr, what are you doing these days? Can you arrange this?
Will anyone be indicted?
Dogma says, "Welcome to menopause, Johnny. You've got menopause." The fleeting
I
thoughts.
said that. Yeah.
Johnny's a little old lady now.
Because I was talking and I'm like, my words just gone. I don't know where they are. I said, is this menopause? It was brainopause, that was for sure. But
well, it is menopause.
I paused. I really did. I know. I kind of stopped and rewound a little bit to where I just started repeating stuff, and it wasn't the right stuff. So I don't know.
We're gonna have to get you a T-shirt made up. I've been menopause.
So yes, somebody will. Whoever that is. Unfortunately, I don't know. And whoever that is, here is your indictment. This person is indicted. This person suffers grave consequence. I wonder if this is Andrews, because some more stuff have come out about him, but I didn't really care to read it because we already know who he is. I don't need more information. I need you to do something. But if you're not going to do anything, then don't tell me something else he did. That doesn't help. But this person, this is my card for indictment, because this is your physical thing that you can hold in paper. So yes, for him. But this person, I'm going to say yes to, but maybe they take a self-inflicted way out or something of that nature, but they suffer a grave consequence of some kind.
Can you see Page of Cups, King of Cups, addictions, tempering them. People on the inside. Somebody's going to unalive themselves. I get that was involved. But yeah, and there's going to be more women that come forward on these people too. So
well, it'd be nice to see somebody pay for this.
Well, why hasn't anyone else been charged before? Because they charged Epstein down in Florida. He served his cushy jail time where he got to go home every night. Why hasn't anyone else been indicted before now? Is it because of his connection to like Israel and Russia and all that stuff, or people buying protection? Why has no one else been indicted before now? They have information.
This would be like info coming out of nowhere, which means to me that you have stories, you got info, you got emails, you got correspondence, but you don't have a case to build upon because you need some sort of evidence that they were doing what they were accused of doing. You need some sort of something to attach it to. I think personally, how can you not have it? If you have Epstein, you got to have somebody else.
The videos and everything else that he had.
This, though, indicates it's out of nowhere, which means like something that's unredacted or something that's released only to a certain people, like a Bondi and a Kash Patel or something. Like somebody's information is not completely public, but this would be whistleblowing. And so this information could be dug up by somebody, but somebody else is also proactively blocking it. So that's why I think it hasn't happened before, but I think it's going to happen going forward, though. This has just all been orchestrated and blocked by somebody and somebody's, I think.
I think so too, because like I guess somebody's like tampered with the evidence a little bit, but they've got like images of the parties and it's connections, like court in the past, like getting it into a grand jury and everything. It's almost like they give up because of the money behind these men, these powerful men, bribing off the judges or whatever they do, but and accusing the women of being liars, right? Nobody believed victims back in those days. Kevin Warsh, who is the nominee to head the Federal Reserve, is all over the Epstein files. Is he going to get confirmed to head the Federal Reserve?
Birds of a feather, huh?
Mm-hmm. I tell you, I'd be looking at every single person in the White House as you're in the files. Well, Steve Bannon is all over them.
Wouldn't be wrong. I mean, they're gonna get confirmed. Looks like yes to me.
He'll get confirmed.
Mm-hmm. But it's not. I mean, it's friends in high places type of thing. There's your confirmation. I get it. Anything can change, though.
I'm getting it's kind of a 50-50 thing if he gets enough votes. And I think it may come down to a woman. So like a Lisa Murkowski or somebody, like it'll come down to one woman who feels kind of stuck because of all this evidence has come out. People aren't having it, and they know that. So his work may be over, and it may come as a surprise to him. But it's kind of a 50-50 thing if he'll get thrown out. These people got to get a backbone.
Mm-hmm. Donald Trump said the new release of the documents clears him of any wrongdoing. So it's like he can just say stuff and somebody will buy it, but these people just sneak through and nobody does anything.
Melania's movie.
Oh Lord.
Paid 28 million for it. They spent over 50 million, like between making it and marketing it, and the movie theaters were empty. Like you could go online and if you needed some downtime somewhere all by yourself, go in a movie theater. You could meditate in there. It's so quiet, right? You need to hide out from ICE. Like people online were saying, if ICE is coming after you, go hide in Melania's movie. They'll never find you there. Nobody's in there.
Bless her heart, Jesus. Bless her heart.
A really sweet, lovey-dovey letter that she wrote to Ghislaine that was in the Epstein files.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what to ask about the movie. I mean, it was just a facade to put money in their bank account. Mm-hmm. Jeff Bezos, who paid it. The director of the movie is all over the Epstein files. Over the Epstein files. Bezos, has a merger thing that he wanted to prove, so he was just paying a bribe. I don't know what the question is.
Can we ask first, why did it crash and burn so hard?
That's kind of my
because
thing.
Some people like her because they like him, and they think, oh, remember back in the day when they said, oh, now finally we got a classy first woman. Somebody likes her.
Is it her, or is it her and Trump? Like that people are waking up and they just don't want anything to do with either one of them anymore.
I mean, we told you she was a horrible person, but yes, you got to see it for yourself.
Why is it failing so miserably?
It looked like a vanity project.
If her movie was showed on a plane, people would walk out of there. We'd have a little DB Cooper thing. Take your parachute on the planes in case they fly. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Sue. We needed that.
Oh my God in heaven.
I swear to God, y'all are more petty than we are. That's hilarious.
That was funny. That was hilarious. Sir, you have to keep your seatbelt on. The light is on. I don't care. I'm out of here, ma'am.
I'm out of here. I don't even need a parachute. Just open the door.
At all. The ground has got to be easier than just watching this movie. It was a vanity project, and nobody really cared. Nobody. Mind you, Trump's economy, maybe they couldn't afford tickets, but nobody cared.
I get part of it is a reflection on Trump also. These are party people. You're having all your little Great Gatsby parties and stuff, and it's like judgment. You're not doing anything for me. Not accepting Melania. Walking away. Ready to put up a fight. Like sick of her.
Meanwhile, Michelle Obama could write a sticky note and 20 million people would buy it. So it's like, I want to know, in this same vein, if they make any other Trump movies, whether it's his children or his family or his life or his wife again, will it flop also? Because he's different. People would watch his movie probably just for historians' sakes.
Well, some of us don't want to relive it. Been there, done that the first time, but
I mean, if he, goes out on the roof of the White House and he falls off, and that's in the movie, I'll go see it.
If Ken Burns did a documentary on how we got here and why, people might probably watch it, but I think it depends on, if some MAGA person creates some love story to Trump. So
his supporters, sure. Everybody else, no, they'll be searching for something else to do because we hate him that much. Some of us just strongly dislike. But his supporters, yes. Everybody else, no. Because I'm not going to go put another red cent in his pocket, that type of thing. So, no.
Yeah, because the movement is of change here in America. People are burdened by his image now. And after he's dead and gone and all the lies come out and everything, judgment and what he's done to our government and stuff, I think people would look at and assess like, is this a truth-telling movie, or is this just
the BS
fabrication? So would anyone go to see it? Depends on, is it the journey of Trump or is it the full Trump?
I have one more question.
Okay.
Not that we know, because anything can happen around that time. But is it a great possibility that when he goes, he will be earthbound? Or will someone come to get him and he'll be ready around that time and, blah, blah, blah. He'll cross over. But is it a great possibility he'll be earthbound?
My feelings with Epstein is he's earthbound. He's afraid to go into the light. I kind of expect Trump to hook up with Epstein and run around with him, but will he go into the light? Or will he be earthbound? You can't take it with you. A lot of times people that are trapped by material possessions end up earthbound too.
As the song says, your mind ain't prepared, but I'll see you when you get there. So we'll see. Earthbound or crossover? I don't think so. I think he'll be earthbound because he may go suddenly, not quite sure where he is, but also with the runes, I get Tiwa's reverse, which means no one's coming to get him either. Like my mother, her parents came to her and told her it was okay, type of thing. I don't think anybody is coming to get him, and I think he wants his life back, where he was important and he had all these shiny, pretty things and so forth and so forth. So he'll be stuck here, I think.
I think he'll be earthbound. Justice on the bottom. This is my card for America. So, the celebrity in America that made, all these women anxious. If anybody meets him on the other side, it's going to be some of these women that he's abused, and he would face some conflict there. So I think he's going to hook up with a friend. That would be Mr. Epps when he crosses over. I think he's going to see that he can't take his wealth with him. And for me, Pentacles are earthbound because Pentacles are made of metal and metal comes from the earth. And I think Judgment and King of Pentacles, he's going to be earthbound.
Hope he's trapped in a toilet, can't get out.
Put him in my plumbing. I'll flush him 20 or 30 times. Greg Bavino sent back to California, demoted. Little y'all seen my thumbnail tonight. No offense to short people, okay, but I like to make fun of these little assholes because they deserve everything we give up. And the reason I like to make fun of them is because I can't stand being laughed at.
Yeah.
That's why I like to laugh at Trump and all of them, because their egos can't handle being laughed at. I think it's very important that we laugh at them, like Mary Trump telling the story of the mashed potatoes on Trump's head as a kid. He hates that. But yeah, little hydrant size Greg Bavino. He was in Vegas partying it up this weekend after going back to California, but he could very easily end up with a target on his back from people that are fed up with what he's done. He's just so, wearing his Nazi coat around and everything. How's his career going to go?
Flat.
My thumbnail tonight, Kitty, is Greg Bavino standing by a fire hydrant, and he's the same height.
Is he a podcaster too?
Don't think so. He's on social media a lot, like Twitter and stuff.
He's going back there. He's got a lot of talking on social media, but he has some sort of consultant thing. If enough attention was paid to these consultant things, then you could put this in front of a judge, if you ask me. But there's some sort of consultant work he has here because they're asking his advice for one thing or another. But it's a lot. It's a lot of money that passes a lot of hands and things of that nature. So I think something needs to be looked in there. I don't think it will, but there's that. But his career, it's flat is what the word I kept hearing, to where it goes up and it goes down and stays down. And so he wants to go back into government life, so maybe he'll make a run for something or try to get on a board of some kind of thing or something like that. So that may be in his future too, somewhere down the line in the next 7 years, but
still on border patrol stuff. So, he's still with DHS.
There you go.
But I get a lot of his lies are exposed. So, by these families that are talking as they go through their court cases and everything, and there's no, they haven't committed crimes. He's arresting innocent people. They're just working hard and stuff. I got both my Russian cards here, Putin and Russia. He's getting funding somehow back channel from Russia. And he's going to keep fighting for a long time. So he's going to keep aligning with the Proud Boys and the Oath Creepers and those kind of guys. He's going to get rejected by society, I think, and especially women. So if he ever leaves Homeland Security, or if his job ever gets threatened in a different regime, like, hey, we don't want you in ICE anymore, he's going to have a hard time keeping a job.
Because if we don't have a Republican administration next, then there's no reason to keep him at all.
Mm-mm. So will they defund ICE? Right now they're taking it out of the budget. Will they eventually defund ICE and just get rid of it, which is what 90% of America wants?
Maybe reform.
Take it back to the borders, not in the middle of the country.
Looking for citizens. I think more so it just changes levels. It's reformed, I think, because there is something that's being blocked there. So maybe that little heist that they want this billions of dollars, there's something blocked there, and it stays blocked, but they give some sort of new agenda or new initiative that could be reached. And so you can go in a different direction. You can't go in this direction, but you can go in this direction. And so maybe some sort of reform. Problem is you can reform it, but mind you, what they're doing now, they shouldn't do. What you need is some sort of enforcement after they just murdered 2 people. More, if you ask me, but we all saw it. It's videotaped. And so that's the thing you have to address. I don't care what the rules say. What are they doing? Because they can't do that, and they're doing it anyway. Just like Donald Trump can't do half the stuff he's doing, 90% of the stuff he's doing, but he's doing it anyway. So you can reform it all you want. Great. But stick to the rules and enforce it. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, there's so much corruption in it right now. Their image will be constricted, but what they're doing with children in these camps that they're putting them in, more gets exposed there. There'll be big changes put in place around Homeland Security, and especially how they handle younger people. I get just big changes and massive reforming. For me, this can be a card of, like, if you're working for a company that's restructuring, they're going to restructure the whole thing. They're going to tear it down, rebuild it, and it'll be much smaller. It'll be more in the legal front. What it's supposed to be, the borders. And what's interesting is the Republicans haven't changed border policy. They haven't written any new laws on border policy. They're just letting these goons go out there and create havoc.
Walk around Italy.
These private companies that are making money off the detention camps, will they lose their contracts and get disbanded? Will that shrink also? Oh, hello, Roro. Aurora. Roro.
There may need to be some reform there too, because here is your offer, here's your conflict, there's your contract, and then here is anything that you would do growing or trying to grow. It meets the chariot. The chariot is the opposites coming together. So if you want to continue to grow, then you must change your way. You can't just do things the way you want to do them. You must do them on page with everybody else, type of thing. That's the way the chariot moves forward, is when you come together, not when you do your own thing. So if you want to grow, you got to work with the other side. which it seems a little, a little too generous to me, but there you go.
Yeah, I'm getting they're gonna have to change too because like the payouts that they've been getting are gonna get burdened. So they're gonna defund a lot of these detention centers. Things will change with who they're giving the work to, and how they're handling, especially small people in the detention centers. There's going to be a lot of exposure before the change. Right. Yeah. Exposure before the change. And I think we're going to see more information come out about deaths that are happening in those places. So,
oh, I was told to give you a message if Selma's in the chat. She said she loves Braxy, but she wants you to know that everybody loves the cats too. And so they need to get their shine and make sure that everybody loves when they get attention too. So there you go.
Like cats, here she goes. They're harder to control, right? You can't herd cats. So depending on, sometimes they come up a lot when we're doing the live streams. And, Lucy, used to lay up here all the time. But then when I got the kittens, she was like, oh, hell no.
Because we get some comments about, the cats are distracting. And so she wants you to know that she loves it when the cats are up there, that everything's not about Braxy.
Thank you. And we get comments that Braxy's distracting. It's like, you know what? If you're not an animal lover, don't watch us. Because they're going to come and go.
It's not like they got up there and start talking. So, what do you want?
Yeah. As long as they're not blocking me from laying my cards, sometimes I have to kind of scoot them over.
That's my pet. I'll put it in the middle of the screen while I'm trying to read. Maybe then. Lord,
but I get a lot of people that read for them, and they're older and maybe don't want to get a pet again, because they don't want to have to worry what happens, when they're gone. So they may be 85, 90 years old, and they're like, I live vicariously through you watching your pets, whether it's the cats or Braxy. So Trump admitted again in Iowa in his speech that they rigged the election. And he's saying, maybe I should do it a third and fourth time. Well, he's not going to live long enough to do a third and fourth time of rigging the election. But, at the time that they're confiscating ballots down in Georgia, he's bragging that they rigged the election again. Why does mainstream media and even some, YouTube media that we watch, like Maya Stutz and stuff, as well as the Democrats, why does no one address the fact he keeps telling on himself that they rigged the election in 2020 or 2024, excuse me?
Because that's driving me nuts.
He says it, and they just ignore that. He says it all the damn time. He said it the day before he was inaugurated again. He said it on inauguration day. He's always saying, "Thank God for Elon. We rigged that election."
And then meanwhile, if you say Donald Trump stole the election, YouTube has a fit. And then if you go on one of these talk shows or something, like if you went on The View, they'd probably have a statement they'd have to read after commercial break or something, like Donald Trump didn't steal the election. It was certified. It was this, that. He said it.
He's saying it. He tells on himself.
This ain't even,
somebody's saying they miss Artie in the chat. Little Artemis. He was such a teddy bear. He was such a character. One of my cats. He lived to be 18 and a half years old, but I still miss him too. He was such a funny cat. The kittens are going to be 4 years old in April.
I think because they're blocking an investigation, they're blocking information of some kind. And I don't think this is not Republicans. This is Democrats. Somebody is blocking an investigation of some kind, blocking information that is there, mind you, it's there. But they don't want the chaos. They don't want the attack. They don't want the conversation. They don't want the smoke, as they say in the streets. That this is just the way America goes. You win and you lose, and then you move on. Meanwhile, Donald Trump won the first time and shouted Hillary Clinton cheated for 4 years, even after he's the person that was in the White House. I don't know what the answer was to that question. Again, maybe menopause, but
Yeah.
if Democrats are blocking information is what I get.
I mean, it's almost like they look at it as complete done. They don't want to be seen as like Trump, who, said, "Oh, the election was meddled with. I should have won in 2020," and caused an insurrection over it. And now he turns around, like, he doesn't call January 6th insurrectionists, but he calls us domestic terrorists and insurrectionists for protesting him. They're it's like, hemming and hawing and trying to move on from it. It makes them anxious. They know that he has betrayed. They see it. There's exposure on it. They know. They're just trying to figure out in the future how to secure elections so that it can't happen again. Maybe they're taking it in, as he celebrates over and over that it was rigged, right? They're taking the information in to help them figure out how to keep it from happening again.
I could understand if Democrats were pulling some big grand cheating schemes too, and uncovering their mess would uncover the other mess. But it's the majority of this country is blue leaning, so I can't.
When a Democrat wins in a deeply red Texas district for the state legislature by a lot of points, we are much more blue in this country than red. Thank you, Harriet.
Red just votes traditionally, and it's hard to get blue people to vote sometimes.
So I don't know what to look at here. Georgia, Tulsi Gabbard goes down there for the FBI raid. Kash Patel's nowhere around, but Tulsi Gabbard's there, as they're confiscating, the votes and everything. And then Sidney Powell is brought up on the search warrant raid, whatever, as looking for the proof. She believed that the Italian military satellites flipped votes on, and she also was part of the, like Giuliani was too, saying Maduro in Venezuela changed votes. I guess my question is, did they go in and get Maduro so they could then get him to say, yes, we interfered in your 2020 election, and then give him a pardon? Or like, is there a reason? Is it tied to Maduro?
This raid,
because if Maduro like gave them permission to go in and take those machines by saying, yes, we changed votes. Because of course they had to get Maduro here before going to Georgia.
I mean, is he connected? He's not unconnected, but it's not about him. It's smoke screening. Throw up a bunch of stuff and see what sticks. There is just an effort here that's just trying to steal the White House, basically. Trying to steal votes, trying to steal influence, trying to get them. You're not going to undo the 2020 election. Okay, you're just not. But Mike Lindell and Sidney Powell and Tina Peters, they got to go down with that ship, I guess. That's
no. I'm getting it's more a Putin directive or implementing what Putin did, which is, throw everybody off balance, because the Epstein files were coming out at the same time, right? Throw everybody off balance to hold on to your seat, but also to go in and purge voter rolls and stuff. So it's a Russian playbook is what I'm getting, bringing the Russian playbook here to America. So is Maduro involved? To a talking point. We have a new organization. Now, where did I write that down? Because there's a group of 9 prosecutors that have created an organization to prosecute federal law enforcement that are breaking state laws. And they call it the Fight Against Federal Overreach, FAFO. Look around, find out. How are they going to do fighting federal law enforcement that's breaking state laws, i.e. ICE?
How are they going to? It depends. What you need is support from Democrats everywhere. Because here is your support that you need, but you need vocal support, people to go out in front of this issue. Because there are some that are willing to confront ICE. There are some that are even willing to arrest ICE. But what you also have to have, because you're going to have Donald Trump and his minions saying you're overreaching, you're doing this, they're doing their assignment, Pam Bondi's going to try to sue you and arrest you for doing that, this, that, and the other thing. So there's going to be a big, huge fight. And they're going to try to put the bully hat on and do that type of thing. But if you can get the support from the rest of the Dems and say we're not pushing back and we're not backing down, then fine. But if you get the no backbone Democrats that say maybe we shouldn't because we're overreaching, then it's all going to fall apart. You have to be all on the same page. Have to.
Yeah, and they definitely they need to market it, speak up more about it, to get more people utilizing them, because there's kind of a slowdown in them getting connected. But I get they'll be more effective at fighting the children, in the detention centers here, trapped in they'll be more effective in the courts with that, because people aren't going to have children treated that way, and sick children that can't get their meds and stuff. Will they stop people being shot in the streets? No, I don't think so. The militarized part of this, no. But what they will be good at is the ones in the detention centers, blowing that up a little bit and fighting that through the courts, getting people released.
Because here in Washington, they are trying to pass the Senate. I think it's going to the House or something like that. The article said, where they're aiming at 2 things, just like I think it was Virginia or California, where ICE agents cannot be police officers. And then they're aiming for the mask too. Take the mask off if you're going to be here.
Yeah. I mean, if a mask, they shouldn't have police on their vests. And I've seen quite a few ICE people that have police on it. They're not police. They do not have the right to do a traffic stop. They have no business seeing my driver's license. They're not police. They can't charge you for running a stop sign. Sorry. So to me, there's a lot of that crap that they should be able to reel in and stuff. Are more independents motivated? I'm going to say independents who don't usually vote in elections, the non-voting public. Are they more motivated to vote in the midterms because of what's going on?
I know one for sure. She didn't vote. She's never voted in her life, actually. And I always said that she should have been the one that's in the first in line. She's gay, she's poor, and she's got kids. It's like, so, you should be the first in line trying to vote any Republican out of office. But now she's upset because of the ICE thing.
Yeah, they should be upset about the Epstein files, which he promised to relieve, and the fact he said he would lower grocery prices and he hasn't, and everything. Your healthcare costs is going up. It's like crazy, like what they focus on, what gets them finally. And I think ICE and watching them killing Americans in the middle of the streets is a bridge too far with a lot. So are they more motivated? Will we see more traditional non-voters coming forward?
Yes. I think in abundance too. And this is more like a standing the ground or stand for something, fall for anything type of thing situation. So yes, there would be a lot more. And there may be some transitional votes too, to where you have some red to come over to the blues.
I agree. So to heal America, some transitional moving over to the other side, not liking the deaths and the chaos, and then the lies about it, manipulating what we saw with our own eyes. Don't tell me what I saw in that video. I've seen it from 4 different angles. You can't lie your way out of this. So they want change in the government. So they are left-leaning. Yeah, tired of the bully and all of his little companions that he partners with. So, and I do think the Epstein file plays into it too, but I think it's more ICE that's really pissing them off. More so than inflation and stuff. Don Lemon arrested. I know you did a video on that the other day. Well, A, how's it going to go for Don Lemon? And B, like, Trump is already attacking like Midas Touch and people like that on social media. So I want to know if there'll be more arrests of journalists. But first, how's it going to go for Don Lemon? I think it's really funny when you ask any of the AI things, who's better for the economy, Republicans or Democrats, and it says in general, like there's always a recession under Republicans, and Democrats are better for the GDP and the economy. It's like, why can they not read that? Why can they not see facts? MAGA idiot.
How will it go for him? Eventually, it'll be fine with the 10 of Cups. 10 of Cups, you have to go through a journey to get to the 10. And there's the Justice. So he'll be fine in the end. He has to go through some ups and downs first. I pulled some runes. This is the card for protection. It's reversed. So he's still the target. Because, mind you, the federal magistrate judge that was supposed to be responsible for charging him said she wasn't because no crime was committed. And then Pam Bondi came in on her broomstick and did a whole different thing. So, but there's teamwork. People will stand with him. And it's, I will say this. It's a good thing it happened to him because he can be the lightning rod for this issue. If they arrested, Tom Banks over at KO1 FOR Channel 4, this probably wouldn't go much outside of the local news station. But somebody like him who can get online and talk, and everybody knows who he is and blah, blah, blah. So this is good with the teamwork thing. And then this also reversed means Laguz is like intuition, but it's something under the surface. So all of the ugly has to come out first. And then once you sort through it, it's kind of like the moon card. Once you sort through it, then they'll be fine.
I will never forget Obama the first time he met Putin, and Putin was going to close the press out of the room, and Obama's like, "No, let him in." Like that, free press. That's what we're all about. This is a lot of gaslighting going on around Don Lemon. And this is probably little Christy Nome wants him in jail or whatever. Try to restrict him. Would like to take him out. But I get he's going to be just fine. And when the courts, when they share the information with the courts, they're going to be very burdened to do anything about this. So he's got strength on his side. He may take an action against them for trying to prosecute him, because now he's got legal bills. But I think the other thing is, Trump's petty. He's going to keep going after him. And I get there's an abundance of people they're going to target in America within the news realm. So that kind of answered my second question, which is, will they keep going after news people that are center and left leaning that don't want fascism here in the U.S.?
Because he was released with no bond.
Yeah.
It's not dangerous.
They know he doesn't, they don't have a case against him. It was like the most trumped up charges, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's his name? Homan, the guy that replaced Greg Bovino, the one that took the bribe. They caught taking bribes. That's now taking Greg Bovino's place in Minneapolis. To me, he's even worse. I look at him and I can't stand his energy. It is nasty. Homan. He's saying he's going to try to de-escalate, and immediately they're ramping up and pulling more people over and more door-to-doors and stuff. So is Homan going to last? Or is he going to get
Greg?
No, it's Greg Bovino. I forget Homan's first name. Homan, I believe is how you spell it.
I don't think I've ever seen his face.
Fat and ugly. kind of a moon face.
White House border czar.
That's him.
Do we use the word czar anymore?
Tom Homan. Yeah, border czar. That tells you how Russian we're trying to be.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. I see exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you what I heard, because I heard when you said his name, I heard something. I'm going to tell you what I heard when we're in here.
Is he going to get tossed out of Minneapolis too?
Because it's slander. So I don't want to say it right now. Is he going to get thrown out?
Hey, you could just see lie on his face every time he opens his mouth. It's like liar, liar, liar.
Anticipate and thrown out in the cold with the 5 of Pentacles. He's got an agenda, and I don't think this is it. He probably wouldn't even care. There's something else he's trying to do. I don't know exactly what it is, but something else he's trying to do, or someone else he's trying to bring into the administration. He might just be a chaos starter. I wonder if he dislikes Miller too.
I think he's going to get in trouble. Like there's gaslighting going on here. He is a chaos star, try to blow everything up, right? I think it's small people, how he uses small people to get the parents. the youth that will cause actions to be taken against him. But I do get, yes, he'll get kicked out of there. He'll go running back to his dear leader. And he's gonna lie about everything. We know that. We have to do a live this week. I got more questions that we're not even going to get to. Oh, here's a good one. What do Trump's doctors really think about his health?
Oh, mercy. Maybe that's what they think. Oh, mercy.
Trump's personal physicians. What was it you heard about Homan?
It was inappropriate and wasn't true, possibly. So I didn't want to say it on the thing. Let's just say, you remember way back when I had a question. We had a question about Jarrett. I got that kind of. That's what flew into my mind just now. He might shop at Rue 21, is what
he might be a little cross-dressing. Nothing wrong with that, but this
you do you.
This far right, holier than thou thing.
But it's not clothing, because that ain't what I heard. I heard underwear, so that's what I heard. So I guess I'm saying that.
He's got a little garter belt.
He's got some pretty things.
Melania might be jealous. Jared might be jealous.
What do they think about his health? That was the first card. I just mentioned this the other day. That I've never had it in the 20 years, 2005, 19 years that I was reading tarot until this year. I've never gotten this for death. I've always got it for change, and then Ten of Swords was death. And all this year, I mean, we're only 1 month in, but I've been getting this card for death. Every time I talk about death, I get this. Every time. I'm not getting the Ten of Swords anymore. I'm getting Death card. But they don't, because he's not controllable. It'd be different if you had a patient who listened instead of a patient who thinks he knows better. I tell you to take an aspirin, you take 2. I tell you to quit eating French fries, because I'm pretty sure they did, because of what that does to your blood. And I'm pretty sure he went and got a double. So they can't get through, and a lot of them are just, they're going through the motions. And so what do they think of his health? That it's any day now. TikTok.
Thank you, Unseen, for asking about Trump. His health. Loser Trump on the bottom. He's losing the battle is what I'm getting. It's like, he can secure people that agree with him all day long, but it's like everything is just chaos around his health. He blocks the truth from coming out. He's got blockages in his veins. He's got back issues. He's got sexually transmitted diseases, I'll put it that way, that are running, rampaging him. He's got addiction issues. He needs to temper down. Like you, death card doesn't mean death to me, but when I get it with this and exiting out and crashing and burning, it's like he's just a stroke away. There's something routinely and steadily they're having to do in his circulatory system. So he's got a big knot now that's like black on the bruise is so bad, but it's a knot on his left hand. It's like he's got a freaking clot sticking up on his left hand. It's just, he's not long for this world.
He's already been here too long.
So, in light of the fact but a lot of the astrologers are saying, January was the precursor to February, that February could be a little bit worse in exposing, bringing all this crap out that needs to come out. Um, uh, what can we expect in February? What else is going to come out that we need to be aware of?
There's an issue with crops or growing something or food and what you call that, supply, not supply chains, but yeah, it's supply chains, because that's what it's affecting food and farms and things of that nature. So not just the weather, it's economic circumstances as well. There's a lot of slowdown, a lot of patience that's needed. These are both cards of patience, but this is coming from that administration. Also, some issues with healthcare. A lot of talk about it as well. Protests are still an issue. There's going to be a lot of talk, of course, about Epstein, as there should be, but there's more names, and they're not bringing up Donald Trump as much, but we know he's there, so it's not like we need any more revelations. There's a very prominent Republican that may be on the way out. The slow singing and flower bringing way out. And there may just be another one that's gone too, because one of them meets the Grim Reaper and then the other one just goes away. Ain't Marjorie, it's supposed to be gone soon? Because it might be
gone.
Oh, she already gone? Okay, well, there's another.
January 3rd, they swore in the new house.
Oh, I missed that. There's another one then.
Could be another woman going, yeah.
That's what I get.
I get to somebody that was a messenger for Russia. So a politician that was a messenger for Russia is going to go.
Tulsi.
I get victory for America. The bully is almost done. So we're getting closer to that day that he's going to be gone. There's going to be more investigations we're going to be hearing about. So watch for the government catching judgment for lying about the women in the Epstein files, like trying to cover it up a little bit. So I think that's going to rile a bunch of people up, and that's going to motivate a lot of voters in midterms. I want to look at the midterms energy again. Will he try to cancel the midterms, or will whoever's in the White House try to cancel the midterms?
Wants to, but can't, or at least can't figure out how, so they may have to abandon that plan. Come up with a way to jam it up or to make it difficult to vote or something like that.
I can't see him successfully being able to cancel midterms in a blue state with a blue governor. I just, there's no way. Yeah, definitely wants to either constrict it or end it, but he's not going to be able to. Republicans will be stealing some of the elections and everything, but in general, a lot of gaslighting and stuff. They're not going to be able to do it. They'll move forward. Slow and steady wins the race. I have a funny question. Whose health is worse, Trump's or Mitch McConnell's?
Oh, mercy. I'm going to ask the runes.
It's funny. I saw people talking about Chuck Grassley in the chat. It's like he's 94. He'll be 96 by the time his term is over this time. And he'll probably run again. It's like, he can run laps compared to Mitch McConnell.
Mm-hmm.
And Mitch is about the same age as Trump. But he's virtually disappeared. But both of them, like Mitch goes catatonic, Trump falls asleep. He can't make it for a press conference without falling asleep.
Mitch's is worse, but Trump's is worse, but Trump's got favor because he shouldn't be alive at all. He's here for a reason. I think life is scripted, so there's me for a start. But I got Yara and Unyo, and Unyo is like your joy and your happiness and your fulfillment. It's reversed, which means his body is not happy. It's not healthy, basically. Yarrow would be like the harvest, like when you grow, it's also reversed. And so this is like his health is diminishing, basically. Diminishing. This other guy's is diminished. I don't know how he's still alive, but mind you, they got money for doctors. That's why he's still alive. So Willow reversed in Manaz. Manaz is your mankind. This is your systems. This would be his doctors. This is what's keeping him alive. He is probably literally chained up to a bed and plugged into everything else in the middle of the night to keep him alive. But Mitch's, I think, has failed, and Donald Trump's is failing. Donald Trump has worse health.
I think Donald will go first because I get like a lot of the donors and people that work for him are quite nervous about what happens. Like, how are we going to hang on to what we're trying to push through our agenda? That I'm getting is coming for both of them, like soon, really, really soon, quick.
They're zombies.
Going to another dimension. But I do get the dear leader will probably go first. Number one. Sorry, I just thought that would be interesting to look at. Like, neither one of them will be missed or glorified. I was quite proud of that some reporter following Lindsay through the halls of Congress, yelling at him on camera, "When are you going to come out as gay? Like, we don't care. When are you going to openly come out?"
Damn.
So, will Lindsay openly come out? It's like they're hitting you in the face with the facts now. Don't back off now.
He just hasn't found the right woman.
He was like, woo, like really making a beeline for his office after that. It's like, just admit it, Lindsay. We see you in the Epstein files. We see you everywhere else.
No, because the cause and effect would be heartbreaking, he thinks.
He just can't bring himself to be honest.
Because mind you, I'll give him the slightest bit of credit. Raised the way he was, he probably still can't admit it because he thinks he'll probably still be judged by people who aren't even here. So he's got a trauma attached to it. So he can't, I guess, blurt it out because it's a trauma attached to it. But he can still go to hell with gasoline draws if you ask me. So there's that.
Yeah, because he's still connecting up on Grinder, but he looks at it differently because he wants to hang on to a seat in the government. Yeah, so he tries to move on from changing what his reputation is, and lies about it, manipulates who is. He's got a lot of partners out there. He changes all the time. So he's on Grinder a lot, hooking up.
They called him Lady G because that's how they know him via text message.
Communicating a lot. It'll come out when he's gone. He'll leave it in his will. By the way, any last questions for you, Johnny?
No, not for me.
One last one. Tomorrow's Groundhog Day. Is there anything else we're going to have to do again because of Trump? And I'll put a time frame on it, in the next year. Is there something we're going to have to do again, Groundhog Day?
Yeah. Not all of us. Somebody's going to have to quarantine, though. Meningitis is running rampant somewhere, too, I heard. Donald Trump is the king of plagues. But I think there's some kind of quarantine because of some sort of misinformation and corruption.
It's funny. I'll show you the bottom in a second. It's like all the gaslighting that Trump has done and all the evidence of it that gets exposed to Americans. And even though when the Dems are celebrating and taking the lead again, all the image of gaslighting, looking at all the money, investigating all the money and where it went, and what went on with the children. All of that. Anybody that touched him, as you always say, he's the Medusa. Anybody that touched him, thank you, Darlene. We're gonna have to heal ourselves. But what are we gonna do over and over and over again? We're gonna watch his death over and over. It's gonna be like a video.
So it'll be recorded.
It will be recorded. We will be watching, an image, so a video. A lot of us are going to put that on slow-mo and replay frame by frame.
I'd never heard of, I've heard his name, but I've never, just like Ben Shapiro, I don't know what he looks like or sounds like. I just heard the name. Charlie Kirk, same way. And when his video was running around Twitter, I watched it like 48 times. Not because I didn't like him, but because I'm like, what am I looking at here? And it was interesting to see. And it was in a GIF loop on top of that. And so I can see that happening.
But I know if he strokes out live on camera, I will be watching a slow motion the fall to the ground. So y'all have a wonderful Groundhog Day tomorrow. Thank you all so much for all the super chats. Patty, Courtney, Beatrice, Marin, Mara, Anna, Torp, Kay. I missed a lot of these. Cindy, Gigi, Cold Toes, Idaho Girl, Jen, Azalea, Rose, SW, Roberta, Rahera, Fran. Oh my God, y'all just Abigail, Gloria, MJB, Corliss, Harriet, Book Girl, and Unseen, and Darlene. Thank you all for all the super chats contributing to the pipe fund. For those who came in late, I had a pipe burst yesterday, and it's gonna get expensive. I can just say that. So greatly appreciated. Next Sunday night, we will be on Becca's channel, House of Lenormand, same time, but we'll keep you posted if that changes for any reason. Just watch our community posts. Sometimes this time of year, especially, we get under the weather or something, we have to move around channels. And as always, Johnny, pleasure to read with you.
Absolutely. Anytime, always.
Good night, everybody.